The 310 miles the St. Johns River flows through is not only affected by the people that live on its banks, but over 4.5 million people as far south as Okeechobee County, as far west as Levy County, and as far north as Nassau County.
The watershed, which is the area that drains into the river, whether through tributaries that lead into it or into the main stem of the river like we are here, the watershed drains about 16% of the state. So it's a huge area that this covers. The watershed's about 8,800 square miles.
The St. Johns River is the largest river in the state of Florida. It starts at the St. Johns Marsh near Vero Beach and flows north to end at the Atlantic Ocean in Jacksonville. It has numerous tributaries throughout its path.
The river experiences a lot of problems. It might not look like it's sick today just looking at it, but the river does have problems. It is experiencing a lot of pollution issues. What happens is we have nutrients entering the waterway from numerous sources. It adds up to too many nutrients the river can't handle, and it causes that algae that's naturally present to grow uncontrolled. It's like your yard. You put fertilizer in your yard to make your grass grow. It acts like fertilizer for the algae, and it then can cause it to blanket the cover of the surface of the river, which then blocks sunlight so that the submerged plants below die and can't get sunlight. And it can also cause drops in dissolved oxygen, which can cause fish kills. And we've seen this on waterways throughout the state. What happens is it hurts tourism. Our waterways in our states are so critical for tourism. Tourists don't want to come out where it's covered with, we're having a red tide event or we're having an algal bloom. Here I've even in Jacksonville talked to realtors that say it's really hard to sell a riverfront home, $1 million home, when you walk out back and it's green and it smells and it causes you to have respiratory problems. And so it affects our economy in many ways when these type of things happen, these pollution events, and our health, but also our quality of life and being able to get out and recreate on these great waterways.
The St. Johns Riverkeeper is a privately funded, independent organization that works on behalf of the community for clean and healthy waters in the St. Johns River, its tributaries, and its wetlands through citizen-based advocacy.
The things that you can do to help this waterway are things you can do to help any waterway just about across the country. It's things like I said, conserving water inside your home and outside. Using plant material in your yard and landscaping that is drought tolerant, or native plants that don't require as much fertilizer and water. Using less fertilizer. More is not better. Actually using the right amount, trying to make sure that you understand the right type of fertilizers to use. That's a big problem with runoff from our yards. Maintaining your vehicles. When our vehicles are not maintained well, they're leaking fluids. Those fluids actually they run off of our streets into storm drains and they end up into our waterways. So it can be that. It can be even energy conservation. People don't often associate energy conservation with the health of the waterways, but across the country, a lot of energy production is by using water to create the energy to run the turbines. And so when we create energy, we're using water. And also, we're creating pollution when we use energy, and that pollution ends up back in our waterways. I could see if we don't make some significant changes over the next 20 years, we could see some real reversals on this river and the progress that's been made. One of the things, the river has shown some signs of stabilization of some types of pollutants, but we've also, for the last 5-6 years, had a real downturn in the economy. We really haven't seen any additional growth in our state or building and development, which can have an impact. My fear is that we haven't taken that opportunity when we've had that period with less impact to the river to address the problems with the existing population so that we can accommodate the impacts of future growth and development.